nothing uninteresting, yeah.
I believe it.
But you gotta do one thing to take another thing off, and then there's something else in the way, so you gotta stop and take that thing off to get something else out.
So we're getting back to work on Lloyd's Malibu today. Basically, it's just torque converter, different heads, and new starter. I think that's it. These are just some old school camel hump heads, or double hump, whatever you want to call them. They're supposed to be about a 65cc chamber. The ones he has on it now are supposed to be about 76, something like that. So it should boost it to, depending on what pistons he has, in the neighborhood of 9.5 to 10 to 1 compression, somewhere in there. Change the valve springs while we have the heads off. Put on the ones that match that cam. This is just a Jegs high torque mini starter. And then for the converter, I think he said he went with like a 16 to 22 stall. Something like that?
Yeah, I think he's gonna regret it. I think he should have went 25 to 3. But...
Yeah. Alright, it doesn't say anywhere. I'm pretty sure he said 16 to 22. The issue he was having was with the thumper cam. It was, come on, focus. With the thumper cam, it was wanting to idle right around 1,000 RPM, like 950 to 1,000, give or take. And that's right where the stock stall converter is, like 1200, so it was wanting to push through constantly, or when you put it in gear, it wanted to die off. So basically all he did was just go to the next step up, just so the car will idle and run a little bit better. He didn't do anything for performance, which is kind of a waste of money. Alright, situation report. This thing is a piece of shit. You gotta squeeze it all the way, and it's just bending. It's not compressing the valves at all, so holding off on that. So I decided to help him pull the transmission. All there was left was 2 bolts and the thing was ready to come out. Did that, bell housing hit the headers, so started to pull the headers. Had to take a bunch of the front accessories off, power steering pump and all that shit. Basically it's been almost an hour. So we're just finishing up that so that we can get around to finally pulling the transmission. And then all we gotta do is just convert her and start slamming that back together. Alright, tranny is out.
Well, let's see how much fluid's gonna come out.
Yeah, I'll man the back in case it tries to take off. Both seals are replaced. Now it's time for the converter. Alright, let's start putting it all back together now. Now I would show us slamming this thing together and getting all the cool shots that I try to normally do, but honestly, this thing sucks to work on, so we're just gonna slam it together, skip past all that, and then we'll probably pick it up once you're doing the head work or something. Actually, that wasn't really too bad. Transmission's all back in, torque converter's hooked up, cross members bolted in, drive shafts just about back together. Speedometer cable, training lines, dipstick, pretty sure everything. So now all you got left to do is just all the work to the motor. I'd like to say we're halfway done, but the way things have been going, we're probably less than that.
Ha! Third time's a charm.
Now the fun part. Undo pretty much everything we did last time to it, and then another step. Alright, finally got everything unbolted, ready to pull the head, find out what kind of pistons this thing actually has. God, I'm not looking forward to lifting this.
Well, you throw the plugs in it and I can crank it over and you can catch it.
I've got the long bolt for the power steering thing here, so I'm gonna use that as a handle. All right, final guesses. I think dished.
I'm hoping flat, but I think they'll be dished out for the. Yeah.
They are slightly dished.
Oh, fuck. Just being a dramatic little bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, they are dished though. I think that'll put it 9 1/4 to 1 compression. Something like that. All right, so here's the heads we just pulled off it. Here's the camel hump heads, the ones that all the old school guys get super hard for. You can see the difference in the chamber right here. If you look there, it's pretty uniform, and in here it dips in. That's gonna make most of the difference. And then I use just a quick little online calculator to get a rough estimate on compression ratios. Assuming those pistons are about a 10 cc dish, I'm not sure, it's just a rough estimate. With those heads, 76 cc chambers, it'll be about 8.9 to 1 compression with the new heads and everything. So it'll definitely be a pretty big improvement. You should definitely notice it. All you gotta do now is just change the valve springs in this and the seals and everything, and then get a new gasket kit and we can start throwing it all back together. Alright, we just got back from my buddy's place, getting all the valve springs and everything changed and the new seals in it. I think all we're gonna do the rest of the day is just, we have to drill some new holes for the power steering pump and the alternator bracket, and then I think we're gonna call it a day. Alright, heads are all drilled, just got them painted. We're just gonna let them dry and then pick all this back up tomorrow. They actually look pretty decent. I mean, way better than they did. Maybe this time, might actually do a burnout in Lloyd's car. I mean, how else are we gonna test it?
Anything's possible.
But that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you next time with a running Malibu, hopefully doing burnouts.